Hello, Miss Barb Bean. Hello, Barb. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Katie.
Do you have, looks like Barb's connecting to her audio still. Do you guys have, hi, Barb.
Hi.
Do you guys have bolsters at your house? Yeah? Okay. I'm gonna have you guys use bolsters. Hi, Les. Do you have a bolster at your house, Leslie? Okay. I can't hear you because you're muted, but I think I read your lips and I think you said you do have one. Yes?
Let me go off camera and I'll grab it.
Okay, me too. I'm gonna go grab my bolsters. So you guys go grab your bolsters. Okay, got it. Restore. Rare. This is a rare pleasure I get. All right. Shall we, my friends? Mute ya. And then we'll just do the thing. So spotlight myself. Okay. So let us begin with our bolster underneath us in goddess pose. So bolster behind you like this, and then you can either take your hips all the way up to your bolster's edge, or you can leave a little more space. And then just recline back. And as you recline back, it might feel good to stretch your arms long. It might feel good to just give yourself a little temple massage or forehead massage or anything else that your body is calling for. And then eventually just come to a place where you can rest, where you can relax. So just this very gentle heart opener to begin with today. You can do whatever feels best with your arms, extend them out to your sides or down by your sides, or maybe it even feels better to just bring your hands, kind of rest on your hips or your belly. Same with your legs. Whatever feels good. And then as you lay back and just really give in as best you can, invitation to breathe with me. So we will take a big inhale and then a 3-part exhale. And as we exhale, we'll hiss through our teeth. So it sounds like this. And we'll do it for 10 seconds until we're all the way empty. So start by just exhaling, empty out. And then inhale, fill all the way up to the very top. Hold. And exhale, let just 1/3 of the air out. Oh, guys, I realized I told you wrong. Sorry. I had something else in my head and then I did something different. I'm starting over. Start over. All right. We're going to inhale, a 3-part inhale, and then exhale for 10 seconds through our teeth. So starting over, exhale all the way to empty. And then inhale just 1/3 of the way up, just low belly, low back, pause. And then mid ribs, mid back, mid abdomen, pause. Then all the way up, fill up as big as you can and hold. And then just like I said, hissing through your teeth for 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way to emptiness. And then 2 more like that. Inhale, low belly, low back, hips, pelvis. And then mid ribs, mid back, side body. And then take that same breath all the way up, as full as you can get. Fill up, hold in that fullness, and hiss through your teeth to let it go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way to empty, and then one last round. Inhale, low belly, low back, pause. Mid ribs, mid back, mid abdomen, pause. And fill up as big as you can, chest, shoulders, upper back, crown of your head, holding that fullness. Hiss through your teeth slowly for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way to empty. And then this time, just great big, huge inhalation. And then great big sigh. And you're welcome to utilize Ujjayi breath today as we move through our restorative practice. Or if there's another way that you want to breathe, as long as it's deep and intentional, that's perfectly fine with me. So from Goddess Pose, everybody, if you haven't already, extend your arms overhead and your legs forward. So big, huge stretch from top to bottom. Take a great big inhale and actively reach through fingers, reach through toes. And then as you exhale, just bring your arms to your sides and use them to slowly lift your upper body and come into a seat. So coming into a seated position, and maybe you just sit right up on top of your bolster, just prop yourself up. Take a moment to get comfortable in your seat, and then just relax your arms down by your sides. Connect to your breath, so either Ujjayi or just slow, deep breaths. And next time you inhale, take your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, gather your hands into your heart. As you inhale, reach forward and open your arms really wide. And exhale, gather your hands back in. Inhale, press your palms as you reach up. And exhale, let your arms come back down by your sides. We'll take this 2 more times through. This is connection breath. Ground connects to sky. Inhale, reach up. Sky connects to heart, hands to heart. Exhale. And then open up. Inhale, take your arms wide. Imagine just sharing a little bit of yourself with us and even the space you're in. Exhale, gather some energy back in for yourself, hands to heart. And then heart to sky. So reach up. Sky back to ground. Everything is connected one last time. So it's a moving meditation. Inhale, ground to sky. Exhale, sky to heart. Inhale, open and share. Exhale, gather back in. Keep your palms pressed as you reach up, breathe in, stretch tall. And exhale, arms back down to your sides. Good job this time. Inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to the ground beside you, and we'll take a little side body stretch. So you might walk your right fingertips out to the right, bend your right elbow, and then lengthen through your entire left side body. If you want, you can explore kind of rounding and curling in, looking down at the ground, or opening up, letting your heart look up, maybe even taking your left arm back behind you a bit. So feel into this, either with your breath or just your awareness or even a little bit of movement. And next time you inhale, so next big inhale, just come back up, all the way up, arms extend. And then other side, let your left hand come down, walk it out. Let your elbow bend so your forearm gets closer to the earth, and then stretch and lengthen through your right side. Same options apply, so if you want, you can curl in or open up a bit. Just, let's say, 2 more deep breaths on this side. With your next inhalation, rise, arms to the sky. As you exhale, transition forward onto your hands and your knees. So come forward to a tabletop position and set your bolster off to the side for a moment. So from tabletop, hands and knees, we're just going to take some cat-cows. Inhale to arch, lift your heart, lift your tailbone, and exhale to round. Curl in, hollow out. Empty out in your breath, and do that just a couple more times, back and forth, feeling into the flexion and extension of your spine. And finish the round you're on. Come back to neutral spine. And from your neutral spine, let's move into a thread the needle posture. So knees at least hips width distance apart. Take your right arm out to the right and reach it all the way up. Breathe in. Exhale, thread your right arm through. So reach underneath and then gently come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder and head. If there's any way that you want to work this, if you want to explore this posture, please feel free. So you could push into the ground with your left hand or lift up to your left fingertips. You could wrap your left arm behind you. Sometimes I even like to interlace my fingers and kind of tug with my left arm, pull on my right arm. Breathe into the back of your heart. Breathe into your back ribs and your low back, your kidneys. And all the way to empty with every single exhalation. We'll be here for just about 3, 4, 5 more breaths. All right, if your left hand is lifted, bring it back to the earth. And then next time you breathe in, unthread your right arm, reach it out and all the way up to the sky. Exhale, set your right hand down. Now we're going to walk both of our knees over to the right long edge of our mat and just bring them together. Sit over onto your left hip. So your left outer butt cheek comes to the ground. Now, locate your bolster again, put it in front of you like so. You want your right thigh either up against the edge of your bolster or a few inches away. And then square your shoulders forward towards the front edge of your mat. Hands frame your bolster. Take an inhale and push the ground away like you're lengthening everything out. And then try to keep lengthening and pulling your spine longer as you slowly come all the way down to rest. If this feels like too much, you could put something on top of your bolster like a little pillow or a little blanket. You could also put a block or something underneath it to lift it up a bit. If it feels like too much on your neck to look to the left, then just look to the right instead. And then with your arms, try not to hold yourself up. So sometimes I like to reach my arms back and let my palms face up. If you want to, you can explore a little bit with your top leg. You can extend it long, kind of reach your toes behind you like you have a scorpion tail for your right leg, your top leg. And I'm going to invite you guys to do that same breath exercise that we did a few moments ago in goddess pose, if you would like to join me. So same thing, 3-part inhalation, and then that slow exhalation for 10 seconds, hissing sound through your teeth. So start by just letting go, exhaling wherever you're at in your breath. Inhale, low belly, low back, pause. Mid ribs, mid back, pause. Then all the way up as big as you can become with your breath. Feel it, hold it inside of you. Slowly let it go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way to empty and begin again. Low belly, low back. Mid ribs, mid back, side bodies. And as big as you can become, fill all the way up, hold in that fullness, maybe even give yourself a little bit more extra sip. Slow release through your teeth, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way to empty. And then one last time. Low belly, low back, hips, pelvis. Mid ribs, mid back, side bodies. Then all the way up, chest, shoulders, upper back, crown of your head. Hold, hold. Let that breath circulate around. Let it out slowly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way to empty. And then huge inhale. Biggest inhale you can possibly take. And then huge sigh out your mouth. Ah, good. All right, my friends, as you are ready, you can use your arms to slowly start to ease your upper body back up. And then come into a tabletop position. So just kind of scoot your left knee out from under you, tabletop. You can set your bolster to the side again. Once you're in a tabletop, extend your left leg back. So left leg back. Right arm forward, spinal balance. Inhale here. And as you exhale, just a little bit of core, elbow to knee. Feel your strong center. Inhale, lengthen. 3 times. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. And one last time, elbow to knee. This time, inhale, lengthen. Set just your right hand down. And then take your left toes off the right edge of your mat. Push them into the ground. Pull your hips over to the left and gaze back over your right shoulder. So lots of length in your left side. And kind of lean into it. Maybe bend your elbows, one or both. Take one more huge breath. And then bring it back to a tabletop position. And for just a moment, take it back to a down dog. So lift your hips high, maybe pedal out your heels. Stretch from your fingertips all the way up to your sit bones. Walk out your dog. Work that length in the backs of your legs. Take just a couple more breaths in your down dog. And then gently set your knees back on the ground, coming back to tabletop. Make sure your knees are at least hips width distance apart. We're going to thread the needle with our left arm. So left arm out, left arm up, inhale. As you exhale, thread your left arm through. So reach, 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 gently rest down on the outside of your shoulder and head. And any way you would like to work this pose on this side, use your breath. Soft through your face, your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw. Think about 3 more. And then if your right hand happens to be lifted, set your right hand back down. Next time you inhale, unthread your left arm, reach it out and all the way up. And then left hand comes down. Now walk your knees over to the left long edge of your mat, bring them together and sit your hips over to the right. So you're in kind of this fetal position with your legs again. Grab your bolster, put it out in front of you. So right thigh is either against the edge of your bolster or a few inches away. Turn your shoulders towards the front edge of your mat and frame your bolster with your hands. Inhale to push the ground away and lengthen. So imagine you're trying to lengthen your spine as you lower. You're pulling your spine even longer, 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 longer. Then eventually you just rest down. For me, it feels better to gaze left. If it feels okay to gaze right for you, then go for it. Try not to hold yourself up with your arms. So sometimes I like to just let my arms reach back and my palms face up. If you want to explore a little bit with your top leg, feel free. All right, friends, and then one last round of that Viloma breathing, if you would like to join me. So that's that 3-part inhale, 10-second exhale. Start by exhaling, emptying out. Inhale, low belly, low back. Inhale, mid ribs, mid back. Inhale, chest, shoulders, upper back, hold. Let it go ever so slowly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way to emptiness. Inhale, low belly, low back, hips, pelvis. Mid ribs, mid back, side bodies. Then all the way up, fill up your heart space, fill up your shoulders, fill up the crown of your head. Slow release through your teeth. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way to empty. And then one last time. Low belly, low back, pause. Mid ribs, mid back, side bodies, pause. And all the way up. Heart space, front, back, sides, crown of head, hold. Let it go through your teeth. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way to empty, and then just huge inhale. Big as you can get. Extra sip if it's there. And then open your mouth, big sigh. Good job, friends. All right, using your arms, once again, we'll come back to a tabletop position. So you can use your arms to guide your upper body back up. And then just kind of work your legs out from under you, back to hands and knees. Set your bolster off to the side. Once you're on hands and knees, extend your right leg straight back. Right leg straight back. Left arm forward. So left arm forward, right leg back. Inhale, spinal balance. Exhale, elbow to knee slowly. Inhale, re-extend, long, strong, powerful. Elbow to knee, curl in, hollow out. Inhale, lengthen. One more time, elbow to knee. Navel to spine, all the way to emptying your breath. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, set just your left hand down. Bring your right toes off the left edge of your mat. And then we're going to pull our hips over to the right. Gaze back over your left shoulder. So hips go right as you gaze over your left shoulder. And lengthen your right side. Maybe lean into it. Maybe bend one elbow, both elbows. Maybe even come down to your forearm. One more big deep breath. And then back to your regular tabletop, hands and knees. And from hands and knees, downward facing dog once again. Lengthen everything. From down dog this time, we will start to walk our hands to the very back of our mat. So from your down dog, we'll eventually come into a forward fold. Hands to the back of your mat. Once your hands are at the back of your mat, all the weight now is in your feet. So please bring your feet at least hips width distance apart, if not a bit wider. Make sure all of your toes are forward. And then make sure you've got just a little bend or even a big bend in your knees. Arms and head hang heavy, start to roll up really, 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 really slowly. Really slowly roll all the way up to stand. Head is the very last thing to lift and stack. Once your head stacks, we're going to roll back down. So chin to chest and start to roll it down one vertebra at a time, if at all possible.
So keep going with these at your own pace. Spinal roll-ups and spinal roll-downs. Imagine there's an invisible wall right behind you and you're trying not to touch your butt to that wall.
Really feel into your spine. As if it's a string of pearls. Move one pearl at a time. Slowly. Even therapeutically.
Feel whatever there is to feel.
Slow, mindful movement. Not rushing anything.
Finish the round you are on and end up back in a forward fold.
So no hurry, but eventually we'll all meet back in a forward fold. From your forward fold, my friends, we're going to move into a low squat. So walk your feet out even wider, toes wider than heels. So toes might even come off of your mat, and then bend your knees, low yogi squat. This is a great place if you need to put a block under your butt, or even, you might even see if you can sit your butt on your bolster a little bit. It might help prop you up. Try as best you can to keep your heels on the ground. If you can't keep your heels on the ground, sometimes you can even double or triple the back of your mat, kind of roll it up, and then put your heels on that roll instead. Be here for about 3, 4, 5 more breaths. Breathe down into your hips, breathe down into your groin. Some people, this might feel really good and natural, and others, it might feel really uncomfortable. You're ready to get out of it. Whatever you're feeling, see if you can just be with it. Breathe into it. Last couple of rounds. All right, lift your hips up. Oh, heel toe your feet in so they're hips width distance apart and all of your toes face directly forward. Take an inhale and come into a halfway lift. From your halfway lift, plant your fingertips and just start to crawl them forward. See if you can stay as light as possible. So plank or modified plank. Since we're in restore, maybe modified plank is good. Take an inhale and push the ground away. As you exhale, we're going to lower all the way to our belly. Once you're on your belly, this is where we will stay for a little bit. So if you need to, like me, you can kind of scoot back so your head's on your mat. Turn your head to the left. Reach your right arm straight out to the right for shoulder pigeon. So right arm goes straight out from your shoulder, palm faces down, and then roll up onto your right side. Left foot can come down behind you like a little kickstand. The right arm is straight out from your right shoulder, palm is facing the ground. Make sure you can relax your head either on the ground or use your bolster under your head like a little pillow. Your left arm might reach up and back like you're trying to touch the backs of your hands. You can also wrap your forearm around your low back. Or if there's any other way you want to work this pose or explore this pose, feel free. Saw through your face, saw through your jaw. And then this time, my friends, if you would like to, I'm going to lead us through 3 rounds of box breathing or equal ratio breathing. So it will be a 6-second inhale. We'll hold at the top of our breath for 6, exhale for 6, and hold in emptiness for 6. So if you'd like to join me, start by exhaling, empty all the way out. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold full. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold full. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, empty, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold full, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, empty, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great big huge inhale, get as big as you can. Extra little sip at the top. Open your mouth, side out. Ease your way back onto your belly. For a moment, just sit up, or not sit up, but push yourself up to tabletop and sit back into a child's pose. Either with your arms extending forward, or I really like embryo here. Reach back and grab your heels, or let your palms face towards the sky, backs of your hands rest down. Breathe into your low back. Breathe into your low belly. After a few rounds in child's or embryo pose, come back to tabletop and start to take clockwise circles with your hips. So like there's a big giant clock underneath you and you're trying to hover your hips above every single number. So all the way forward, all the way over to 3, all the way back to 6, over to 9, up to 12. So move it around a few times. Big, huge circles. Oh. And then after a few of those, we're just gonna find our way back down onto our belly. So however you want to get there, just lower on down. And we've got shoulder pigeon with our left arm this time. So left arm straight out to the left, palm face down. Left side. Any variation you want to take on this side with your right arm, with your right leg. Make sure your head can be relaxing on the ground. Or if you need to, you can use your bolster under your head. And the option, once again, on this side, for 3 rounds of equal ratio breathing. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I thought I lost you. And then it just muted me, but I think everything's good. Barb, will you give me a thumbs up? Is everything okay? Okay. All right. I was going to guide you through that equal ratio breathing. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Start by exhaling all the way to empty. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold full. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold full. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold full. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Big, huge inhale. As big as you can possibly become. Extra sip. And then big sigh. And just ease your way once again back to your belly. And ease your way once again back to a child's or an embryo pose for a moment. Knees can be wide or together, somewhere in between. Just rest and breathe into your low belly, low back. And then rise up, hands and knees. And this time take a few counterclockwise circles with your hips. So all the way over to 9, back to 6, over to 3, and up towards 12. A few rounds like that. If you feel like you want to stay in one place for a minute and just kind of work back and forth, go for it. Okay, and then once again, we will end up on our belly. So however you want to get there, lower yourself on down. Turn your head to the right and bring your arms to just a cactus or goalpost position. And then slide, keep your right knee on the ground, but just bend it and slide it up towards your right armpit. And all we're gonna do is just lay here for a moment, just working that opening in our right hip. So press the front of your pelvis towards the ground just gently if your butt is lifting a lot. And try to keep the inner edge of your right foot, the inside of your right knee, the inside of your right thigh against the ground, or at least facing the ground. This is called Sleeping Swan. Take about 3 or 4 more breaths in Sleeping Swan. Breathe down into your low back. And then from here, my friends, you might have to watch me, but you're gonna lift your chest just ever so gently. Take your left hand and kind of slide it underneath you. With your left hand, grab or touch your right knee. So left hand to right knee. Now I'm gonna take my right arm. I'm gonna reach it up. I'm gonna start to open my heart towards the sky. I'm coming into a twist. So my right arm goes up towards the sky and then all the way back, and I let my heart open. If you need to adjust your body at all, please feel free. Supine spinal twist. Breathe down into your belly. Gaze up or over your right shoulder. If you're in a position where your right arm is just hovering in the air, you might bring your right fingertips to your right shoulder and try to reach your right elbow back behind you. So if you're a little tighter, then your arm might just be hanging out, floating. Make sure that you're taking care of it so it's not just falling asleep. Bend your elbow, fingertips to your shoulder, reach back through your elbow instead. And we'll stay here and melt into this pose for about 5 to 10 breaths. Notice the temptation to wander off in your mind. And come back to your body, come back to sensation, come back to the feeling of just the ground underneath you. Feeling of your breath rising and falling, expanding and contracting. Take your last couple rounds, big spacious breaths. And we'll roll back onto our belly. So just kind of rewind back onto your belly. And when you end up on your belly, turn your head to the other side to the left. And with your head turned to the left for a moment, just shimmy your hips or rock your hips gently side to side. Give them a little rock. And eventually, you're going to slide your left knee up towards your left elbow. So arms to goalpost position again. Keep your left leg on the ground, but slide your left knee up towards your left elbow for sleeping swan. And it's okay if your butt sticks up a little bit, but just try not to let it stick up too much. So you're gently pressing your left inner thigh towards the ground, your groin. Breathe, big deep breaths. All right, just like we did on the other side, lift your chest, take your right arm and just gonna slide it underneath, right hand to left knee or the outside of left thigh, right hand outside of left knee or thigh, left arm reaches up and then back behind you. And as your left arm reaches back behind you, your heart opens up. Let your head follow so you can gaze up or you can gaze over your left shoulder. And remember, you can take a moment to kind of scoot yourself around if needed, so this feels like a place you can stay for a while. And if your left arm is just hanging out in space and it's falling asleep, getting little tinglies, bend your elbow, fingertips to your left shoulder, and reach back through your elbow. Breathe all the way down into low belly. All the way down into low back. Take about 4 or 5 more. All right, last couple rounds. Side out your mouth if you want. And this time, we're just gonna roll all the way over onto our back. So instead of going back to your belly, just roll onto your back. And if you need to, you can scoot yourself to the center of your mat. Once you're on your back, hug your knees in ever so gently and just take a little rock from side to side. And after a few rocks, we're gonna take windshield wipers. So feet on the ground with knees bent, feet really wide, mat width distance apart. Tee out your arms or goalpost your arms and side to side with your knees slowly and mindfully. So if you just speed through these, you don't get much out of them. If you go really slowly and take these with a lot of intention and mindfulness, I think they're really, really therapeutic for the low back, for the hips, for the sides. So try to go slow and feel more than usual. Good job. Next time your legs fall to the right side, keep them there for about 3 rounds. Not too terribly long, but just a little longer. And if you want, you can bring the outside of your right foot to the outside of your left knee. If that's not helpful, no need.
And then after about 3 breaths on the right side, just take it over to the left. And about 3 breaths on the left side. After about 3 breaths on the left side, come back to center. Constructive rest pose. So feet wide and knees fall in. Feet wide, knees fall in. Invitation to bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And now we're going to do that 3-part breath that we did at the beginning, but we'll do it the exact opposite way. So we're going to take a huge inhale and then exhale 1/3 of the air out, then the second third, then entirely to empty, all the way to empty, and then we'll begin again. 3-part exhale, okay? If you'd like to join me, start by emptying out. Inhale as big as you can, fill up and hold in fullness. Exhale just 1/3 of the air out and pause. 2/3, pause. All the way to emptiness, all the way to emptiness, and pause at the bottom in emptiness. Then fill up again, all the way up, all the way up. Get as full as you can. Hold in that fullness. Everything expands, inflates. Like you're letting the air out of a balloon. Let 1/3 of it out and then pinch it off. Second third of the air out and then pinch it off. Now empty it all the way out, all the way out. All the air comes out, empty out, hold in emptiness. Last time, fill up as big as you can. Hold in fullness, full of breath. 1/3, let it out. Pinch it off, pause. The second third, let it out. Pinch it off and pause. And then finally, all the way to emptiness, all the way to emptiness, become empty, hold empty. Good job, great big huge inhale. And then open mouth sigh. All right, switch up your legs, bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open. So feet together, knees open like a book. If you want, you can ignore me and just relax in this position. Otherwise, this is an exercise in curiosity and also in body awareness. So all you are going to do as you rest with your feet together, knees apart, I want you to squeeze your right butt cheek and then release it. Squeeze your right butt cheek and release it. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Do that on your own lots and lots of times. Squeeze, 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 and then let it go. You might notice your legs rock a little bit. You might notice your pelvis rocks a little bit. That's perfectly fine. If your low back hurts when you're doing this, scoot your feet further away from your upper body. So right glute, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Do it a few more times. And then last time, squeeze your right butt cheek, squeeze, 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 and then just let it relax. And notice whatever there is to notice, feel whatever there is to feel. Now do the same thing on the other side. So left glute, left butt cheek, squeeze it, and then let it go. Squeeze, 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 and then let it go. Just notice whatever you feel. You might notice one side is harder or easier than the other. You might notice your pelvis rocking back and forth again. You might notice discomfort. You might notice that it's hard to engage just one of your glutes. So no right or wrong. Again, it's just an exercise in curiosity and body awareness. Squeeze, 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 and then release. Squeeze, 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 and then release. Do it about 4 or 5 more times on your left side. And then just let it go. Relax. You can keep relaxing, or last option here, we're going to press the soles of our feet together firmly. And I like to bring my arms out to my sides just as a little extra support with my palms facing down. Press your feet together firmly and lift your butt, your entire butt up off the ground. As you lift your butt, squeeze through your outer glutes. And imagine somebody is pressing your knees down, but you're pressing against them, lifting your butt up higher. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze through your outer glutes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Press your feet firmly together and lift. Squeeze. Are you still breathing? Unclench your jaw. Soften your face. Squeeze and lift one last round. And let it go. Good job. Lift your knees up. Gently hug your knees in and take that little rock side to side. Massage your low back against the ground one more time. And then start to find your way into your final relaxation, my friend. So maybe you want a happy baby pose. Maybe you want one last full body stretch or one last big squeeze of your knees. So any finishing movements that you want to take, please feel free. And then I'm going to use my bolster under my knees, just horizontally, for a little more support on my low back for my Shavasana. So option to use your bolster in this way or any other way you'd like, or not use it at all if you don't want to. And this is simply an invitation for you. So if you want to, you can absolutely just ignore me. But I'm going to give you an option for your final relaxation. So give me just a second. So this is kind of for Leslie, because I know Leslie likes this, but it's a meditation called Satanama. Sometimes we do it seated and we incorporate our fingers and our hands. But as you rest in your Shavasana, my invitation for you is just to listen to this, to sing along at first, and then you'll whisper along, and then you'll just start to hear it inside. And you'll get what I mean as soon as we begin. So I'm going to share my computer sound with you. And basically, you'll hear them. They just say Satanama. It's the seed sounds for the mantra Satnam. So Satanama, you'll follow along, singing first with your voice, then whispering along as a whisper, then just hearing it inside. So I'll start the music, and if you're not into it, that's fine. You can absolutely just have your Shavasana.
stop, see if you can still hear that mantra on the inside, just vibrating within you. Sat Nam means I am truth, or truth is my essence. So what does it feel like to connect to your truth or your essence? What does truth feel like in your own body? And just take a deep breath in. Let it go. And if you want to stay in Shavasana and just rest a little longer, you're welcome to. Otherwise, start to find your way ever so slowly and gently up into a seat. As you come into your seat, bring your hands together at your heart. And just bow your head to your heart and acknowledge yourself for being here, taking time to slow down. I think restore is one of the hardest yoga practices for a lot of people. It's hard to go slow. It's hard to do almost nothing and stay present and stay in your body. So good job. And thank you for letting me guide you today. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thanks, friends.
Thank you, Katie. That was awesome.
You're welcome. I was bugged because I had the wrong song. I mean, it was the right song, but there's one version of it where I used it last time and they whisper in it, and that one wasn't it. So hopefully it kind of gave an effect anyway.
That's good. Thanks.
Have a good
Thanks,
one.
Katie.
Welcome.